Well, it looks nice right now. Sun is shining. There is that threat of some rain. Again, if you just joined us and missed the forecast, we'll update you at least one more time before wrapping things up here this morning. This is the Morning Drill on Stream Television and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network, and we welcome our guest this morning, Filippa Duke. Filippa, good to see you this morning. How are you?
Great. It's good to be here, Luke.
You are Director of Music at the First Presbyterian Church, Titusville.
Right. That's right.
Before we get into that part of it, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm actually originally from North Carolina, and I've been all over for school, but I'm happy to be here. My husband works in Erie at GE, so we moved here. He's been here about 2 years, and I've been here about a year.
Wow.
So relatively new to the area.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
So originally from North Carolina.
Yes.
I was just down that way over the weekend. We were looking for you. We thought we were doing the interview down there, but
did you go to Bojangles? They don't have those here, but that's great fried chicken.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. If you ever see one, stop.
I lived in Norfolk for a long time in Virginia, and they were all over down there too.
So that's the place to go.
Yeah. Well, it's actually Cajun fried chicken. So,
yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what got you into music?
Well, I grew up going to church, and I was a part of my home church's music program, kids choirs. We had a handbell choir there. So I grew up doing that, and I also took piano lessons. So my mom was a musician herself, and she always valued taking music lessons. So I kind of started that way and just got into it.
So did she play piano, organ? Or
she just played the piano.
She just played the piano?
And she sang in the choir, too. She still sings in the choir, actually, at my church at home. So.
Do you ever just make it home sometimes and just
usually.
Join?
Sometimes I'll go, but a lot of times I just will sit in the congregation with, working in the church. Sometimes it's nice just not to be in charge. So a lot of times I'll enjoy, playing hooky and just sitting out in the congregation.
When it comes to prepping for a Sunday, what all goes into picking the music and just getting that all organized?
Well, it's different at every church, but a lot of times the director of music and whoever's helping with leading the service and the pastor will all sit down, and we usually try to plan about a month out or so, and we know what the scripture readings are going to be, and we try to make the music go with it and make sense so that what you're singing about is also what you're hearing about and what the sermon might be about. So
it's not just luck then that comes into play. That's well
It
planned.
is luck. But other times,
that's well planned.
Yeah, we do try to have a plan, and then I help try to plan that what the choir is singing goes along with it. So we plan it about a month out and get that all planned and prepped.
Is there a hymn or something that you guys perform that really is difficult?
Well, it kind of varies. We try to really switch it up and do some old favorites and some new pieces too with the choir. So it's always something different going on, and we have children's choirs and handbell groups. So a lot of times they will do parts of the prelude, and we always try to learn new music and keep us from getting bored in those groups too.
Do you do other kinds of music as well? I mean, you're a church musician, of course, but do you do anything else in the way of music professionally?
Well, over the years, I've done a variety of things. I teach piano lessons or organ lessons and have taught music theory to people. And I've also been involved with just giving organ concerts places. My doctorate is in organ and choral. So I've conducted choirs, civic choirs, sometimes non-religious sort of civic groups. Done all sorts of things like that.
The reason I ask is my grandfather many years ago was a professional musician, played with the Pittsburgh Symphony back in the 40s, and used to like to do church music on the weekends. And he would play for anybody that would open the doors. He'd play for the Catholic Church. He went down the street to the Presbyterian. If
he didn't discriminate.
No, he didn't play for anyone. And I just wondered if you had sort of the same experience or knew other people that were kind of like that.
Now keep in mind, we stopped at a Kentucky Fried Chicken on the way home yesterday, and Colonel Sanders had a record of hymns that were recorded. So take it for what it's worth.
So next time I go to Bojangles, I can sell my CDs.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
Well, no, I've actually worked for a variety of churches, Baptist, Methodist, Lutheran. several Presbyterian churches, Episcopal churches, Congregational churches. So because I've moved fairly frequently with going to school in different places, I have worked at a variety of different denominations. And my goodness, there's such a variety of traditions out there. So
I imagine that's a bit of a challenge, too.
It is. And each church has its own tradition within the individual church, and then there's the larger denomination. Yeah. So it's always very interesting. Never a dull moment. You meet a lot of interesting people, as you travel and you see different churches.
So when you're not working, what kind of music do you listen to unwind or to escape what you're working on?
Well, usually I listen to, when I live in Erie and have a lot of long drives, I usually listen to podcasts or audiobooks. Listening to classical music is like work, and it requires my full attention a lot of times, so I can't do that when I'm driving, so I'll stay on the road. And then usually I'll listen to some pop, but mainly country. Just in my free time.
Just unwind, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, what's coming up? You're here to promote an upcoming event that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've got an event on May 22nd at First Presbyterian here in Titusville, and it's called Pie and Pipes. So no matter what you like, whether it's organ music or you just like pie, there's something for you at this event. So this is a Sunday, May 22nd, and it starts at 2 o'clock. That's when we're having a pie reception, all sorts of different pies. So I'm sure there will be something for everyone there. And then after that, while you've had your pie and you're ready to take a nap, instead of doing that, you can come to an organ recital, and that will be at 3 o'clock, and so that will just be in the sanctuary. So we'll be I'll be doing a recital of about 45-50 minutes, solo organ works, and we also have 2 musical guests. One of them is Steve Winslow, who was the former organist at First Presbyterian. He's since retired, and he's been active at many churches all in this region.
Yeah. And that word retired is sort of used loosely.
Right. He's still very busy. I asked him how his retirement was going the other day, and he said, I'm worn out. So he and I are going to be doing an organ duet. So
wow.
It's going to be pretty fun. It's a pretty fun piece. So not all organ music is really serious and stodgy like you might think. And he and I have been practicing that. So we'll be doing that as part of the recital. And then we'll also have Joe Thompson, who's from Titusville and sings in the choir, and he and I are going to be doing a set of a few pieces with him singing and me accompanying him.
And usually that means you've looked everywhere for somebody to join you.
And that was all that was left.
That was all
find anybody else.
No.
Are there any favorites that you like, either organ pieces, compositions, or say artists, maybe one of the classic organ artists that I like, a performer actually, E. Power Biggs, you may be familiar with. Very famous over a period of time.
Famous,
but I was just wondering if you have any favorites.
Yeah. Well, I have tons of favorite composers, and one thing that a lot of people don't know is that organs are all very, very different, and some of them are meant to do sort of a variety of things, and some organs are meant and they're built in a certain way, and they really naturally play certain types of music best, to the point where you can't play other types of music super successfully on them. So, when thinking about my favorite way to make music or hear music, it's always when you have an instrument with music that was made to be played on that type of instrument together. That pairing is really important. But I myself love a lot of French Romantic music from the late 1800s, early 1900s, and that's some of my favorite. And of course I also love Bach, so the great master there. So a lot of things in between, and there are a lot of really fun new pieces being written today too. Some of them are pretty dissonant, so maybe not always audience or congregation, certainly not church friendly. But there's a lot of really kind of wacky, crazy new music being written today for the organ still. A lot of times people think, it's frozen in time, but there's a lot of new compositions.
Would you say that the organ at the ballpark is different than the one at the church?
Yes, that's a great way to say it. That would be safe to say. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. What do they say? If it ain't Baroque,
don't fix it.
Yeah,
go for Baroque.
So Pie and Pipes coming up May 2nd. featuring Dr. 22nd, featuring Filippa Duke, Dr. Filippa Duke, also featuring Steve Winslow, Joe Thompson. The pie reception at 2 o'clock. That's going to be held in Shaddy Hall, and then the recital begins at 3. The event is free and open to the public.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
You'll be making a lot of pie.
Well, I know. Well, may have to limit to everybody to one piece. Yeah, we'll have plenty of pies. The people at First Presbyterian do love pie, and they love to cook, so I'm sure we'll be overflowing.
Yeah, they'll be busy in there, won't they? All right, so we're going to take a quick time out, come back, and we'll sort of recap all this and continue our conversation with Dr. Filippa Duke. It is 20 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. This is the Morning Drill on Stream Television and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Got no melody. I'm gonna sing it to my friends. I've got a song, I ain't got no melody. I'm gonna sing.
Wilcox Nursery and Greenhouse has a wide selection of hanging baskets, annuals, and perennials for your flower beds, Mother's Day, or Memorial Day urns. We also have fall mums. When you care enough, plant the very best. Wilcox Nursery and Greenhouse.
Cross Creek Resort is now open for the season. Call ahead to 827-9611. The dining room is now open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday 5 to 8. Sunday brunch from 11 to 2. Visit the Pro Shop in the 19th hole and get ready for another great season of golf at Cross Creek Resort.
I just got off the phone with Armstrong. I'm getting EXP. It's reliable Wi-Fi, lets me record up to 6 shows, and has this easy-to-follow on-screen guide actually powered by TiVo. What an amazing discovery. I'll be able to set recordings on my phone through an app and actually download recorded shows so I can take it with me on the go. It's EXP, and it changes everything. It's pretty much the best thing ever invented. Hey, bifocals, still number one.
In the military, the mission is everything. At Lilac Springs, the mission is nothing. 99 of 100 breakaway participants report that nothing happened during their time at Lilac Springs. They feel they have accomplished something, and they are satisfied that their time was well spent. Nothing works with PTSD. Lilac Springs has their own rhythm and pace. Referrals are being accepted for all those impacted by combat.
The purpose of Love Inc. is to mobilize and assist the local church in their effort to minister to the community. If your church has a ministry idea in mind, bring it to us and allow us to help you develop it and bring it to fruition. If you have a talent or an ability that you feel led to offer to others, we can help match you with those who could use your help. Currently, we are directly serving 325 families in the Titusville area.
Both of those opportunities available by making a difference through love in the name of Christ.
Mayday, Mayday, emergency clearance sale. Drive and discover the deep discounts and large rebates on most Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams going on now.
Check out the Challenger Hellcat, the fastest Challenger ever from factory.
We have the all-new Chrysler Pacifica, the most innovative minivan ever.
We also have a great selection of Ram trucks and the most Jeeps we've ever had. Donovan and Bauer Auto Group on the Highttown Road in Titusville.
Big G Tire and Auto on the Highttown Road in Titusville is your home to the largest selection of tires for small compact cars to large semis. Need an oil change, inspection, or repair? Big G can service your vehicle while it's in the shop. Protect your vehicle with our fluid film undercoating to keep the rust at bay. Big G will keep you on the road.
Tires for any size vehicle and auto repair. Come see us at Big G Tire and Auto on Highttown Road in Titusville.
The Humes Ford used vehicle store has fast become the county's #1 choice for used cars, trucks, minivans, and sport utilities.
Stop by and see our large selection of certified vehicles. Our on-the-spot financing allows you to drive your car home today. Or visit us at humesford.net.
Humes Ford specializes in used trucks, all makes, all models, gas and diesel. Plus, our finance department will tailor a finance plan to meet any budget. Humes Ford, Route 6, Corey.
Booney Sports Bar on Diamond Street is your home for great food, big portion sizes, huge selection, and amazing service. From their award-winning wings to their mountain of fries and sides. Booney's offers the selection and the daily specials to keep you coming back for more. Dine in or carry out. Call in your order and it'll be ready in no time. Or dine in and enjoy their wide selection of beverages and weekly entertainment. So for great food, big portion sizes, huge selection, and amazing service, head on in to Booney's Sports Bar on Diamond Street in Titusville. Hey, 25, one final look at news coming up in just a few moments. We'll also take a look at that weather forecast for Northwest Pennsylvania to kick off this Monday morning, get you set for the rest of the day and into the week and what you can expect over the next few days. So right now, Dr. Filippa Duke joins us, Director of Music from the First Presbyterian Church in Titusville. Not the second or third Presbyterian, it's the first one.
That's right.
Just so people don't get confused. Yeah. So, Director of Music, we're going to talk about this upcoming event on the 22nd, Pie and Pipes. We'll recap that. But if somebody says, well, I think it'd be fun to sing in a choir, can they join the choir, or what's that process?
Sure, absolutely. It's different for every choir, but in our choir, we rehearse once a week, and we rehearse on Wednesday nights, and anyone can join. We meet before service just to warm up and make sure we all know we're on the same page before service. And we have that weekly rehearsal. We take the summer off, so it's a fun way to be in a choir. And a lot of times people might be scared, I don't want to sing by myself. They're nervous about doing something solo. So being in a choir is a really good way to get over that and to be a part of a group and make some music.
Now, what if somebody really wants to sing, but maybe they don't have the best voice, or they don't know, they're not really trained?
Right. Well, some choirs have auditions, but ours doesn't. So, the way I view it is more of an educational experience. So people can come.
For who? You or them?
Oh, everyone's learning.
Okay.
Everyone's learning.
This person's going to test me.
I have been in some choirs where people, there really is someone who just, maybe they're tone deaf or anything, they can't hear correctly. But, for the most part, everyone can really, really learn. And even people who have problems matching pitch when they're young, a lot of times the best thing to do for a parent is, if you notice your child is a little bit tone deaf, is to put them in a children's choir, because that's the time when they're still learning, they're still forming, and they can learn to sing on pitch and sing with everybody else. So that's a shameless plug. We do have a children's choir at First Presbyterian too on Tuesdays as part of our after-school program. But, like most things, you may not be ready to make your own CD, but you can always improve. So that's definitely
And you can always just keep silent and mouth the words.
If you really and truly are.
Or does that throw you off directing somebody like that?
No, that's the old trick. If you are processing or something, walking, and you have to sing too, and you can't really know, you can just mouth the word watermelon.
Yes.
And it kind of looks like you know what you're doing for the most part.
Yeah. I think that works, though. I've done that. All right. So if you want to join, there's lots of opportunities there. Absolutely. They can contact you at the First Presbyterian Church. Again, the event coming up on May 22nd is Pie and Pipes, featuring Dr. Filippa Duke. You're going to be on the organ.
Yes.
You're also inviting Mr. Steve Winslow. And again, you said he has played all over the region.
Yes, he has. He has played, he's been an accompanist on the piano and the organ, many churches. I know he accompanies for the high school choirs, and I think middle school choirs here in Titusville too. So, he's all around making music.
And of course, I've never heard of this guy, Joe Thompson. He'll be performing.
Yes.
As well. So that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be held on Sunday, right after church. There's going to be a little bit of a break, but 2 o'clock.
Get lunch, then get pie.
Lunch and then pie.
Yes.
At 2.
Absolutely.
And the recital will begin at 3 p.m. in the sanctuary. A little hint about what you're going to be playing?
Sure. I'm going to be playing some pieces by Bach and Mendelssohn, as well as an early composer, Boehm. So you may not have heard of him, but he's got some fun music coming. And then we've got our duet, and then we've got some songs with Joe and I. So a variety of duet, singing, and just playing on organ music. So it should be good.
And if folks want to go back and go to our YouTube channel, you can see each Sunday service. And one maybe to check out would be the Christmas Eve service. You did just a phenomenal job. I mean, you do a phenomenal job anyways, but lots of opportunities to check out your work. It's
absolutely
wonderful to listen to.
Yeah.
You can tell that you enjoy what you do.
Yeah, I do, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yes, and it's free, open to the public. We'd love to see you there, have some pie, stay for some music, and it should be over in less than an hour, so you'll be done by 4 for whatever activities you have for the evening, dinner, or whatnot.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Pie.
Yes.
Just remember that, just pie. May 22nd, Dr. Filippa Duke joining us this morning. Thank you so much for your time. Good to see you this morning.
It's good to be here.
So now an early day at the office.
That's right, very early.
Well, keep us posted on what's going on. And again, you said summertime, you guys are off.
Yes, we do.
But if somebody's interested in maybe joining in the fall.
In the fall, absolutely.
All right. Dr. Filippa Duke, thank you so much. Mark, final look at news coming up next.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to recap the things that we talked about at 7 and 8 o'clock. And if there's time, we'll talk a little bit about that fishing tournament, too.
All righty, very good. And then Emily Altamar, the Executive Director of the Titusville Area Chamber of Commerce, will join us when we continue here before we wrap things up at 9. This is the Morning Drill and Stream Television and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. News is next.